welcome again. Long time no see. This is the time for chapter 14 of Anne of Green Gables. Miss Stacy and her pupils put on a concert. The new school year started with much excitement. As soon as Anne met Miss Stacy, she knew her new teacher would be wonderful. "You will love her voice, Marilla," Anne said. As always, she told every single detail about her day. "When she reads poem out loud, it's perfectly lovely." Marilla continued with her work, rolling out pear crusts. She was used to hearing Anne's constant chatter. Anne enjoyed her studies a great deal. Even math didn't seem so awful. She still had to devote more time to it than in other subjects. But she finally could make sense of it. She felt like all her hard work was paying off. "Miss Stacy said we're putting on a play this year. And would you believe it, Marilla? I'm going to play a fairy queen." The whole class clapped when she told us. "I'm never so nervous and excited. I've already learned some lines, even though it's not until Christmas time." Poor Matthew, having Anne in the play meant Green Gables was often filled with excitement. Giggling girls, he was so shy that he could barely say hello. One day, while watching them put on their coats, he noticed something strange. All the girls were pretty, frilly dressed in a puffy sleeves, all except Anne. Her dress was plain and straight, and lines of an apron. For the first time, Matthew noticed that Anne was dressed the same as Marilla. Matthew was determined that Anne's dress was puffed in her sleeves. The very next day, he went to the store in Avonlea to buy one. But he didn't have a nerve to talk about the Slace girl. So Matthew went to Mrs. Lynde to see if he could make one of the Anne's dress. "I'd like to surprise, if you don't mind, for Anne and Marilla." "Don't worry about a thing," Mrs. Lynde said. "I think it's time a girl had something new to wear. Marilla dresses her like an old lady." Matthew surprised Anne with her new dress on Christmas morning. The night before, Marilla learned the present and wasn't too pleased. She should think about the silly thing of the pretty dresses, Marilla said. Matthew didn't expect Anne's reaction, though. When she burst into tears, he thought he must have done something wrong. Do you not like them, Anne?" Matthew started. "Oh, Matthew." Anne could barely get out the words. She draped the dress over the back of the chair. It was dark brown and matching silk headboard. She started at it when her hands clasped from her. "It's the most wonderful, most beautiful, most perfect dress I've ever seen." Anne threw her arms around Matthew's neck and kissed his cheek. "And puff sleeves! Matthew, it's everything I dreamed that would be." Matthew blushed more than ever. "Well, now, Anne," he said. "That's just a grand." Marilla watched from side, and she was surprised to realize she was quite happy about it. She could even feel her eyes went up a bit. Marilla quickly announced that they should sit down for breakfast and stop in the silliness. She was in the kitchen before they could notice her wiping her eyes on the night of Yvonne to school and wore her new brown dress. She stood on the stage and read her lines with confidence. "Did you see Gilbert?" Diana asked afterward. "Diana," Anne said hotly, "do you know that I have no time for that boy?" "But Anne," Diana said, "as you left the stage, a flower fell from your bouquet. I saw Gilbert with my own eyes. Pick it up and pick it in this pocket. Isn't it lovely?" "It's no concern of mine, and that what he does," Anne replied. "Please don't even bother to mention his name. I simply don't care." Diana looked at her best friend and thought perhaps there would be a little more story. It was hard to settle down after an excitement for the school play, and decided that they should form a story club. "We simply can't go back to life before the concert," Anne told Diana. "Let's, you and I, have a story club." At first, there was only Anne and Diana, but soon Ruby Gills and Jane Andrews joined. That is how it all started. They met as often as they could and read a lot of stories. They met as often as they could read their stories out loud. Their stories were about heroes on horses, women riders finding true love, a people being saved from danger, and loved often in tragic endings. She thought that it was all romantic. "All the best novels had sad endings," she said. The girls talked more than stories. Of course, Miss Stacy and school were popular topics. And now, how they were going to grow up so fast. "I won't be long before it had able to put our hair up," said Diana. "I'm not even in a hurry," Anne replied. "I'm happy being a girl." Ruby Gills liked her talk about the boys, Gilbert Blythe in particular. "He's ever so handsome. Even you must think so, Anne," and turned her face away. "Gilbert," she sniffed. "I barely noticed that he's here." So, what will happen next? Let's find out next time. So far we met a lot of situations, but still, they were made in a storytelling group. So, I want you to debate with your family or friends that Gilbert should be in the story club or not. So, thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and like so you can hear for next chapter. Bye!